this title with Talbot City Councilman. Would it be City Councilman of the City of Rochelle? Yeah. Yeah, it's understood, but you don't. We rolling. And we got me up. Thank you, and good morning, friends. We come to you this morning to bring announcements, dedications, and songs. We certainly hope that your day may be brighter after listening to our program. The family of City Councilman of the City of Rochelle, Mr. Thomas Lee Talbot of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mr. Leonard Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Miss Shabria T. Collier of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. Would like to thank their many friends for the food, the flowers, the condolences, and all other expressions of sympathy and kindness shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. City Councilman Mr. Thomas Lee Talbot, age 68, of 12 Sook Road, Rochelle, Georgia, died Thursday, June 26, at Emory Hospital in Warner Robins, Georgia. The funeral service for City Councilman Mr. Thomas Lee Talbot, age 68, was held Wednesday, July 2nd, in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His pastor, the Reverend Travis Johnson, pastor of the Piney Grove Baptist Church of Rochelle, Georgia, officiated. The burial followed at the Piney Grove Church Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Denise Winslow Talbot of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved son, Mr. Thomas Copeland of Rochelle, Georgia. His godchildren, Mr. Latham Ward, Miss Makita Pugh, Miss Vanessa Winslow, Miss Carla Pugh, Miss Andrea Vickers, Mr. Marvelous Prather, Miss Kashawn Pugh, Mr. Keenan Holt and his wife, Mrs. Jaleesa Holt, and Mr. Jerry Holt. 21 beloved grandchildren, 11 great-grandchildren, his beloved sisters, Mrs. Bernice Wright, Miss Annie Ruth Talbot, and Miss Alice Coley and her husband, Mr. Johnny Coley, all of Rochelle, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Johnny Talbot of Atlanta, Georgia, and Mr. Victor Denmark and his wife, Mrs. Rochelle Sharon Denmark of Queensland, Georgia. His beloved in-law, Mr. Julius Winslow of Byronville, Georgia, Mrs. Jeanette Davis and her husband, Sir Kenneth Davis of Perry, Georgia, Miss Tammy Martin of Unadilla, Georgia, Mrs. Furlow Pryor and her husband, Sir Terry Pryor of Macon, Georgia, and Mr. Jeffrey Winslow and his wife, Mrs. Vanessa Winslow of Atlanta, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends, to include Miss Fabian Reese of Rochelle, Georgia, survived City Councilman Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, age 68, of 12 Sook Road, Rochelle, Georgia. Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, of 1106 McClendon Court, Cordele, Georgia, died Thursday, June 26, at his residence in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, was held Saturday, July 5th, in the sanctuary of the Little Rock Baptist Church in Arabi, Georgia. The pastor, Reverend Joseph Green, delivered the eulogy. The Reverend Nelson Maynard, pastor of the Crossroad Baptist Church and the St. James Baptist Church, officiated. The burial followed in the churchyard cemetery. Survivors include his loving and devoted parents, Mrs. Clara Brooks of Cordele, Georgia, and Mr. Leonard Ray and his wife, Mrs. Brenda Ray of Cordele, Georgia. His loving children, Miss Lakeisha Ray, Miss Shabrika Ray, and Miss April Hope, all of Sylvester, Georgia. Miss Natasha Smith of Athens, Georgia. Miss Carla Smith of Jacksonville, Florida. Miss Angeline Smith of Jacksonville, North Carolina. Mr. Keon Ray of Douglas, Georgia, and Mr. Johnny Smith of Jacksonville, Florida. 16 beloved grandchildren, to include those he reared, Mr. Natafia Smith and Mrs. Nashel Smith of Sylvester, Georgia. His beloved and devoted sisters, Mrs. Crystal D. Ray Clark of Perry, Georgia, Mrs. Veronica Oliver and her husband, Mr. Willie Oliver of Cordele, Georgia, Mrs. Victoria R. James, and Ms. Tawana Ray, both of Warner Robins, Georgia, Ms. Valerie Power of Atlanta, Georgia, and Ms. Samantha Ray of Albany, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Tyrone Ray and his wife, Mrs. Crystal Ray of Albany, Georgia, Mr. James C. Ray of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved and devoted aunts and uncles, Mrs. Willa Bell and her husband, Mr. Levi Bell of Jacksonville, Florida, Mr. Neil Ray and his wife, Mrs. Ernestine Ray of Warwick, Georgia, Mr. Spivey Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Robert Ray and his wife, Dr. Violene Ray of Albany, Georgia, Mrs. Ida Williams and Miss Sue Ellen White, both of Tampa, Florida. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, and cousins, to include his special cousins, Mr. Clay Burns of Arabi, Georgia, and Ms. Lorinda Oliver and her husband, Mr. Lorenza Oliver of Cordele, Georgia. A host of other relatives and many, many sorrowing friends survived Mr. Leonard Ray Jr., age 60, of 1106 McClendon Court, Cordele, Georgia. Miss Shabrika T. Collier, age 27, of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia, died Saturday, July 29, June 21st, of injuries sustained in an automobile accident. The funeral service for Miss Shabria T. Collier, age 27, was held Saturday, July 5th, at the Chris County Middle School Auditorium in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Calvin Hoggebrook, pastor of Hope in the Word Ministry, officiated. Entombment will follow later in Fayetteville, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted parents, Mr. Miko and Miss Shamika Collier of Hampton, Georgia. Her loving and caring sisters, Miss Tiaja Collier of Atlanta, Georgia, and Miss Tia Collier of Hampton, Georgia. Her beloved grandfather, Mr. Charles Collier of Cordele, Georgia. Several caring aunts and uncles, many cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive Miss Shabria T. Collier, age 27, of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. Again, the family of City Councilman of the City of Rochelle, Mr. Thomas Lee Talbot of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Mr. Leonard Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia. The family of Miss Shabria T. Collier of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia, would like to thank their many friends for all of the many kindnesses shown to them during their hours of sorrow and bereavement during the past week. May God bless each of you is their prayer. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Diana were in charge of each of these arrangements during the past week. And now, it is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcement. Miss Pamela Michelle Thomas, age 58, of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia, died Friday, June 27th, at her residence in Palmetto, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Nakia Thomas and Mr. Marcus Parker of Palmetto, Georgia. A beloved and devoted sister, Miss Latasha Davis, and her husband, Mr. Michael Davis of Ellenwood, Georgia. Her caring aunts and uncles, Mr. Sherman Thomas and his wife, Mrs. Vanessa Thomas of Ellenwood, Georgia. Mr. Ronnie Thomas of Rochelle, Georgia. Mr. Wilbert Thomas of Decatur, Georgia. Mr. Willie Thomas Jr. and his wife, Mrs. Candy Thomas of Killeen, Texas. Miss Willie Mae Rogers of Decatur, Georgia, and Miss Flora Thomas of Atlanta, Georgia. Her beloved niece and nephews, Mr. Reggie Thomas, Miss Talia Thomas, Mr. Miles Davis, and Mr. Jordan Thomas. A host of beloved cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive Miss Pamela Michelle Thomas, age 58, of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Pamela Michelle Thomas, age 58, will be held today, Sunday, July 6th, at 2 p.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Travis Johnson, pastor of the Patty Grove Baptist Church, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Patty Grove Church Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. Miss Sakitha Antonia Cannon, age 49, of 81 Barbara Battleway, Americus, Georgia, died Friday, June 27th at the Wilson Hospice House in Albany, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Tiana Cannon, Miss Shanika Long, Miss Dominique Spivey, and Miss Shamika Cannon, all of Americus, Georgia. Two beloved grandchildren, her beloved and devoted parents, Mr. Lamar Cannon and Miss Beulah Angry, both of Americus, Georgia. Two beloved brothers, Mr. Travis Angry and Mr. Morris Angry, both of Americus, Georgia. A special niece, Miss Brianna Angry of Americus, Georgia. Her beloved cousin, Miss Belicia Walton of Detroit, Michigan. A host of cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive Miss Shakitha Antonia Cannon, age 49, of 81 Barbara Battleway, Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Shakitha Antonia Cannon, age 49, will be held Monday, July 7th, in the sanctuary of the Antioch Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The Reverend Ricky Cladd, pastor. The eulogy will be delivered by the Reverend Eugene Hall, pastor of the Jackson Grove Baptist Church. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be today, Sunday, July 6th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Zachariah Antonio Pullum, age 51, of 615 West 10th Avenue, Albany, Georgia, died Monday, June 30th, 2025, in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted children, Miss Andrea Hill Pullum of Florida, Miss Jasmine Porter Pullum of Cordele, Georgia, Miss Electrica Pullum of Atlanta, Georgia. His loving and devoted parents, Miss Marvis Spears and her husband, the Reverend William Spears of Albany, Georgia. His beloved sister, Miss Camilla Pullum Jones and her husband, Mr. Michael Jones of Albany, Georgia. Miss Jessica Williams and Miss LaShondra McKeever, both of Cordele, Georgia. His beloved brothers, Mr. Eugene Turner of Texas, Mr. Eldridge Pullum and his wife, Miss Kendra Pullum of California, Mr. Alfred Rush of Tampa, Florida. His beloved aunts and uncles, Miss Essie Harris, Miss Janice Jones, the Reverend Dr. Kenneth Williams and his wife, Mrs. Kathy Williams, Miss Donna Williams, Miss Diana Williams, a special friend, Miss LaShawn Hessel, and our children, Mr. Anchovia Hestel, and Mr. Montre Hartage. His beloved nieces and nephews, many cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive Mr. Zachariah Antonia Pullum, age 51, of 615 West 10th Avenue, Albany, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Zachariah Antonio Pullum, age 51, will be held on Thursday, July 10th at 11 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His beloved father, the Reverend William Spears, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Westview Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The public visitation will be on Wednesday, July 9th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia, died Saturday, June 21st at Health Park Medical Center in Fort Myers, Florida. Survivors include her loving and devoted daughter, Miss Kelly N. Sims of Arlington, Virginia, her loving grandchildren, Mr. Daniel M. Jones of Rapid City, South Dakota, and Mr. Miles D. Jones of Arlington, Virginia. Her beloved and devoted sisters, Mrs. Annie S. Burrs Ferguson of Leeds Acres, Virginia, Mrs. Gwendolyn Jackson of Lyons, Georgia, and Miss Sabrina L. Angry Barnes of Smyrna, Georgia. Her beloved brother, Mr. Lawrence T. Jackson, Sr. of Smithville, Georgia. Her sister-in-law, Miss Kathy Sims of San Diego, California. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, will be held Saturday, July 12th at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Jerusalem Grove Baptist Church in Smithville, Georgia. The Reverend Ricky Cladd, pastor, the Reverend George Muntz will deliver the eulogy. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be Friday, July 11th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Retired educator, the Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, 104 Georgia Highway 27 East, Americus, Georgia, died Sunday, June 22nd at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. Survivors include his loving and devoted wife, Mrs. Barbara Patricia Lawrence of Americus, Georgia, his loving and devoted children, Mr. Everson Lawrence, Mr. Emerson Lawrence, Mr. Irvin Lawrence, and Miss Emily Simpson, his beloved grandchildren and great-grandchildren, 8 beloved siblings, a host of nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many sorrowing friends survive. Retired educator, the Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, 104 Georgia Highway 27 East, Americus, Georgia. The public visitation for retired educator, the Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, will be held on Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. The funeral service will be held on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, in the sanctuary of the Sunburst Baptist Church in his native land in Montego Bay, Jamaica. The burial will follow at the Lawrence Family Cemetery in his native land of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Miss Nakiria A. Batten, age 24, and her infant son, Jakari J. Lewis, Jr. of Tampa, Florida, died Wednesday, June 2nd at HCA South Florida Tampa Hospital in Tampa, Florida. Survivors include her loving son, Master Cameron A. Hubbard of River View, Florida, her beloved sister, Miss Estra Baden Douglas, and her husband, Mr. D'Angelo Douglas of Sycamore, Georgia, her caring and beloved brothers, Mr. Newmar Baden of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Esau Baden of Atlanta, Georgia, Mr. Zachary Baden of Sylvester, Georgia, and Mr. Freddie Lee McFadden, Jr. of Albany, Georgia. A host of beloved nieces, nephews, cousins, other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Miss Nakiria A. Baden, age 24, and her infant son, Jakari J. Lewis, Jr. of Tampa, Florida. The funeral service for Miss Nakiria A. Baden and her infant son, Jakaria J. Lewis, Jr., will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Mother Mamie Lee Ruff, age 97, of 146 Rainbow Terrace, Americus, Georgia, died Thursday, July 3rd, at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mother Mamie Lee Ruff, age 97, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Miss Martha Lynn Hopper Huffins, age 72, of 107 South 3rd Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Friday, July 4th, at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. Survivors include her loving and devoted children, Miss Courtney Huffins of Cordele, Georgia, Mr. Jamal Huffins and his wife, Mrs. Nicole Huffins of Warner Robins, Georgia, Mr. Alfie Hinton of Cordele, Georgia, her beloved grandchildren, a beloved sister, Miss Mary Steele, and her husband, Mr. Clarence Steele, of Warner Robins, Georgia, a host of other relatives, and many, many sorrowing friends survive Miss Martha Lynn Hopper Huffins, age 72, 107 South 3rd Street, Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Martha Lynn Hopper Huffins, age 72, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Diana are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Friends, that conclude our funeral notices for this morning. And as always, we do remind each of you concerning our pre-funeral arrangements planning available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home, with packages available with a single pay, a 3-year pay, a 5-year pay, and a 10-year pay. So please stop by and talk with us concerning your pre-funeral arrangements needs available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. And also whole life insurance is available at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home.
And now for announcements. The Mount Moriah Baptist Church of Unadilla annual homecoming will be observed today. Sunday school will begin at 10 o'clock a.m. with worship service at 11 o'clock a.m. The pastor, Reverend Edward Lester, will deliver the message. The afternoon service will begin at 1:30 p.m. with the Green Grove Baptist Church of Elko and Reverend Darrell McIntosh in charge of the services. Dinner will be served. The annual revival services will begin on Monday, July 7th through Thursday, July 10th at 7 p.m. each evening. Our program will be Monday, Union Baptist Church and Reverend David Stanley. Tuesday, Greater Macedonia Baptist Church and Reverend Elgin Dixon. Wednesday, Linwood Baptist Church and Dr. Willie Pyramid. Thursday, First Fellowship Full Gospel Baptist Church and Dr. Horace Wright. P.m. each night. Reverend Choice Cobb Sr. will be the revivalist. Our program will be Tuesday, St. Paul, Spring Hill, and Piney Grove Choir. Wednesday, Old Shady Grove, William Grove, and Crossroad and Choir. Thursday, Shady Grove CME and Macedonia. On Sunday, July 20th, morning worship at 10:30 a.m. with the pastor, Reverend Jesse Watts, delivering the message. At 1:30 p.m., the annual mission program with the Zion Hope and Mount Bethel churches in charge. Dr. Eddie Talbert will deliver the message. Sister Dorothy Bryant is the secretary. Deacon Nathaniel Rodney is chairman of deacons. Reverend Jesse Watts is the pastor. The Shady Grove CME Church of the Drayton community will observe its annual homecoming on Sunday, July 20th. Sunday school at 10 o'clock a.m., morning worship at 11 a.m. The pastor, Reverend John Thomas, will deliver the message. Dinner will be served. Brother Peyton Bill, chairman of stewards. Reverend John Thomas is the pastor. The Bay Point CME Church of Byronville annual revival will begin on Monday, July 28th through Wednesday, July 30th. Our program will be Monday, Faith Memorial CME Church, New Bethel CME Church of Pinehurst, Mount Olive Baptist Church, Pleasant Hill Baptist Church, New Bethel CME Church of Cordele, Ebenezer CME Church. Reverend Eddie Grant will deliver the message. Tuesday, Byron Chapel CME Church, Mount Zion CME Church, Turkey Creek Baptist Church, Rocky Mount CME Church, Reedy Branch Baptist Church, and Unadilla CME Church. Reverend Andre Mathis will deliver the message. Wednesday, Macedonia Baptist Church, New Bethel Baptist Church of Dooling, Little Creek Baptist Church, Shady Grove CME Church, Halls Chapel CME Church, and Mount Pleasant Travel Rest Church, Reverend Lewis Burton will deliver the message. Sister Elaine Leggett is secretary. Stuart Lawrence Leggett is the chairman of stewards. Reverend Tangela Azubdia is the pastor. New Poplar Spring Baptist Church of Byronville invites everyone to worship with them today. Worship service begins at 9:45 a.m. You may join them each Wednesday via conference call at 6:30 a.m. for morning prayer and at 7 o'clock p.m. for an hour of encouragement. The dial-in number is 253-993-3761. Pastor Teacher Johnny Dean is the pastor. The New Ebenezer Baptist Church of Americas will hold the installation service of Reverend Willie James Felton on Sunday, August 3rd at 2 o'clock p.m. Deacon Jeffrey Hall is the chairman. Reverend Willie James Felton, pastor-elect. The Mount Olive Baptist Church Men and Women's Day program will be observed today, beginning at 10 o'clock a.m. Everyone is invited to attend the service. Mother Willie Mae Walker, Church Mother, Deacon Lindbergh Williams Jr., Chairman of Deacons, Bishop Jerome Milton is the pastor. Temple of Praise Church of God by Faith of Cordele invites everyone to worship with them each Sunday for their worship service. Elder Michael Wyndham is the pastor. You're invited to worship with the St. King Missionary Baptist Church as they celebrate Pastor Woody Burnham's 22nd anniversary on Sunday, July 13th. Services will begin at 10:15 a.m. Reverend Joyce A. Daniels will deliver the message. Everyone has a cordial invitation to attend. Reverend Woody C. Burnham, pastor. Reverend Joyce Daniels, assistant pastor. First Lady Patricia Burnham is the clerk. The Bethel Christian Methodist Episcopal Church of Cordele extends a cordial invitation for everyone to worship with them as they honor their pastor in the second year at Bethel on Sunday, July 13th at 3 o'clock p.m. Everyone has a cordial invitation to come out and be a part of this worship service. Reverend Robert L. Henderson will bring the anniversary message for this special event. Please make plans to share and be a part of this wonderful event. Sister Marion Buchanan is the chair of the Pastor's Appreciation Program. Reverend Veronica R. Smith is the pastor. The Zion Hope Baptist Church annual revival will begin on Tuesday, July 24th at 7 o'clock p.m. The New Williams Grove Baptist Church and Pastor Nikita Lester will be in charge. The revival will climax on Sunday, July 27th at 2 o'clock p.m. with the beautiful Zion Baptist Church and choir in charge of the service. Mother Elaine Bryant, Church Mother, Deacon Xavier Bryant, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Willie James Felton is the pastor. The Little Rock Baptist Church of Araby annual church revival will begin on Wednesday, July 9th through Friday, July 11th at 7 o'clock p.m. Reverend Lorenzo Hurd will be the guest revivalist. The homecoming celebration will be observed on Sunday, July 13th at 10 o'clock a.m. Reverend Joseph Green is the pastor. The Voices of Harmony Community Choir of Albany 40th Choir Anniversary will be on Sunday, July 27th at 3 o'clock p.m. at the 3rd Karaoke Baptist Church in Albany. The public has a cordial invitation to attend. Mrs. Vontresa Allen, business manager, Reverend Brian K. Drake, host, pastor. You're cordially invited to worship with the churches of our community. The Greater Mars Tabernacle Baptist Church invites you to worship with them today, Sunday school at 9 o'clock a.m., worship service at 9:30 a.m. Mother Mary Henderson, Church Mother, Deacon Arthur L. Parker, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. K.M. Williams is the pastor. You're invited to worship at the Mount Zion First African Baptist Church today. Worship service begins at 11 o'clock a.m. Deacon Joe Wedges, Chairman of Deacons, Dr. Dan James III is the pastor. You're invited to worship at the Gethsemane Baptist Church today. Worship service at 10:30 a.m. Deacon Johnny Wilson, Chairman of Deacons, Brother Cecil Straughter is the pastor. The New Oak Grove Baptist Church invites you to worship with them today. Sunday school begins at 9:15 a.m. Worship service at 10 o'clock a.m. Deacon Alonzo Jones, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend W.W. Wilson is the pastor. The Greater Gum Creek Baptist Church extends a cordial invitation for you to worship with them today. Worship service at 10:30 a.m. Mother Norma Solomon, Church Mother, Deacon Zachary Fields, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Joseph Hagerbrook, is the pastor. The St. Paul Presbyterian Church invites you to worship with them today. Worship service begins at 11 o'clock a.m. Pastor Owita Hegman is the pastor. You're invited to worship at the beautiful Zion Baptist Church today. Worship service begins at 11 o'clock a.m. Mother Donna Mae Childs, Church Mother, Reverend Lorinda Ray is the pastor. You have a cordial invitation to worship at the Emmanuel Missionary Baptist Church today. Sunday school begins at 10 o'clock a.m., worship service at 11:15 a.m., and Bible study is held each Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Mother William McGill, Church Mother, Reverend Gregory Williams is the pastor. The New William Grove Baptist Church extends a cordial invitation for you to worship with them today. Worship service begins at 11 o'clock a.m. Deacon Winfred Green, Chairman of Deacons, Mother Gradine Ford, Church Mother, Reverend Nikita Lester is the pastor. Temple of Praise Church of God by Faith invites you to worship with them today. Sunday school begins at 10 o'clock a.m., morning worship at 11:15 a.m., and you may join them live on Facebook each Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Wednesday Bible study is held at 7 o'clock p.m. For more information, please call 229-949-0144. Elder Michael Wyndham is the pastor. You're cordially invited to worship at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church today. Sunday school at 9:45 a.m., worship service at 10:45 a.m. Mother Evelyn Lewis, Church Mother, Deacon Leon Spears, Chairman of Deacons, Reverend Isaac H. Owens is the pastor. That concludes our announcements for this morning.
And now for dedications. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: in loving memory of Miss Danita Davis, who departed this life July 10th, 2007. Dedication requested by Mrs. Mary Frances Davis, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of beloved church mother, Mother Fannie Mae James, who would have celebrated her birthday July 2nd. Dedication requested by the James family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Mr. Frederick Yah, who would have celebrated his birthday July 2nd. Dedication requested by the Yah family, gone but not forgotten. In loving memory of Sergeant First Class Willie Kurt, who departed this life July 2nd, 1982. Dedication requested by the Kurt family. Precious memory lingers still. In loving memory of Mrs. Gertha Bryant, who departed this life July 4th, 2012, and would have celebrated her birthday July live July 5th, 2019. Dedication requested by his beloved wife, Ms. Wilhelmina Williams, and the entire Williams and Rogers family. Precious memory lingers still. In loving memory of Mr. Lester C. Williams, who departed this life July 5th, 2019. In loving memory of Mrs. Eva Pearl Gaskin. In loving memory of Mrs. Beulah Patterson. Precious memory lingers still. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: special wedding anniversary to Deacon Leon and Minister Kathy Spears, who celebrated their 40th wedding anniversary Saturday, July 5th. Dedication requested by the Spears and Kelly families and the members of the Mount Calvary Baptist Church. Their pastor, the Reverend Isaac H. Owens, says happy anniversary to Deacon Leon and Minister Kathy Spears on their 40th wedding anniversary. God continue to bless your union and keep it strong. Our first selection this morning goes out to the following: special birthday wishes goes out to Mrs. Valerie Jones Levant, who celebrated her birthday on July 2nd. Dedication requested by the Jones and Levant family. Her beloved mother, Mrs. Dorothy Rose Jones. Special wishes come from Jai Wilkerson Parker to Miss Val. Happy birthday to Mrs. Valerie Jones Levant, who celebrated her birthday on July 2nd, and from the staff of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Happy birthday, Miss Val, and many, many more. Happy birthday to Miss Carmen Rockwell, who celebrated her birthday July 2nd. Dedication requested by her beloved family. Happy birthday to Master Tristan Jones, who celebrated his birthday July 5th. Dedication requested by the Jones family. Happy birthday to Miss Wilhelmina Williams, better known as Kitty, who is celebrating her birthday today, July 6th. Dedication requested by her beloved family, and special wishes goes out from the Reverend Isaac H. Owens and family. Happy birthday to Mrs. Wilhelmina Williams, known to all of us as Miss Kitty. God bless you, and many, many more. Our first selection this morning is dedicated to the following: Deacon George Jordan and family, Deacon Jerome Jordan and family, Vienna, Georgia, Mr. and Mrs. Willie James Patrick and family, Mother Vera Mae Rivers and family, Mother Willie Mae Leary and family of Hatley, Georgia, Mother Martha Ruth Westbrook and family, Deacon Johnny and Mrs. Vera Perry and family, Superintendent Brandon Williams of the Chris County School System, Deacon and Mrs. Lawrence Williams and family, retired educator Miss Margaret Jordan and family, Mother Sally Morrell and family, Deacon Charles Hardeman and family, Brother Memrish Brown and the members of the Allen Temple AME Church, Miss Lucy Baker and family, Deacon and Mrs. Jimmy Fagan and family, Mrs. Linda Gail Grant and family, Mrs. Ruby Kitchen and family, Deacon and Mrs. Odell Westbrook and family, Mrs. Alice Faye Jackson Green and family, Brother Mark Westbrook and family, Deaconess Martha A. Cross, Mr. Richard and Mrs. Brenda Cross and family, Mr. and Mrs. Reginald Cross and family, Miss Thelma Hopper and family, Miss Willie Mae Crapp and family, Brother James L. Hughes and the members of the Hilltop Church of Christ, Brother Herman Williams and family, Deacon Roger Fields and family, Dr. and Mrs. Eddie Tarbert and family, Mrs. Leila Westbrook and family, Mrs. Martha Mobley and family, Deacon and Mrs. Norman Fields and family, Miss Jessie Colson and family, Mrs. Deborah Dawson and family, Miss Chastity Green and family, Mr. Johnny Dawson and family, Mr. Steve Dawson and family, Mr. Lester Williams and family of Ashburn, Georgia, Mr. Artis Dawson and family, Mrs. Ross Williams and family, Mrs. Johnny Mae Westbrook and family, the Reverend Artist and Minister LaShawn Westbrook and family, Mr. and Mrs. Mark Henderson and family, Miss Monica Westbrook and family, Mr. and Mrs. Bruce Hamilton and family of Albany, Georgia, Mr. Malcolm Mintz and family, Mother Willie Mae Walker and family of Warwick, Georgia, Mrs. Annie Peterson and family, the Honorable Mayor of the City of Warwick, Mrs. Juanita Kinchin and family, Mr. and Mrs. Greg Peterson and family, Mr. and Mrs. Chris Wheeler and family, the Reverend Ed and Miss Gloria Gant and family, Dr. Bobby and Mrs. Melba West and family, the Reverend Kenneth and Mrs. Valerie Toots and family, Minister Verdale Thomas and family, Mrs. Tammy Harvey and family, Mrs. Murtis Evans and family, Miss Thelma Williams and family, Miss Sheila Thorpe and family, Miss Mary Lee Holmes and family of Americus, Georgia, Mrs. Pearlie Anderson, retired educator of Dawson, Georgia, Deacon Jake and Mrs. Mary Reese and family of DeSoto, Georgia, Miss Jackie Lattimore and family, Mr. Peyton Lango and family, Mrs. Erlene Soleil and family of Vienna, Georgia, Dr. Mike Denard and family, Miss Mary Hill and family, Mrs. Mary Wakefield Minion and family. It is certainly with the deepest regret that we make the following announcements. Miss Pamela Michelle Thomas, age 58, of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia, died Friday, June 27, at her residence in Palmetto, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Pamela Michelle Thomas, age 58, will be held today, Sunday, July 6, at 2 p.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. The Reverend Travis Johnson, pastor of the Piney Grove Baptist Church of Rochelle, Georgia, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Piney Grove Church Cemetery in Rochelle, Georgia. Miss Shakitha Antonia Cannon, age 49, of 81 Barbara Battleway, Americus, Georgia, died Friday, June 27th at Wilson Hospice House in Albany, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Shakitha Antonia Cannon, age 49, will be held Monday, July 7th in the sanctuary of the Antioch Baptist Church in Americus, Georgia. The Reverend Ricky Cladd, pastor. The eulogy will be delivered by the Reverend Eugene Hall, pastor of the Jackson Grove Baptist Church. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be today, Sunday, July 6th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Mr. Zachariah Antonia Pullum, age 51, of 615 West 10th Avenue, Albany, Georgia, died Monday, June 30th, 2025, in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Mr. Zachariah Antonio Pullum, age 51, will be held on Thursday, July 10th at 11 a.m. in the chapel of the Jwwilliams Funeral Home in Cordele, Georgia. His beloved father, the Reverend William Spears, will officiate. The burial will follow at the Westview Cemetery in Cordele, Georgia. The public visitation will be on Wednesday, July 9th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia, died Saturday, June 21st at Health Park Medical Center in Fort Myers, Florida. The funeral service for Miss Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins, age 82, will be held Saturday, July 12th at 11 a.m. in the sanctuary of the Jerusalem Grove Baptist Church in Smithville, Georgia. The Reverend Ricky Cladd, pastor. The Reverend George Muntz will deliver the eulogy. The burial will follow in the churchyard cemetery. The public visitation will be Friday, July 11th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. Retired educator Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. The public visitation for retired educator, the Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence, age 82, will be the Wednesday, July 30th, 2025, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Jwwilliams Funeral Home. The funeral service will be held on Saturday, August 2nd, 2025, in the sanctuary of the Sunbury Baptist Church in his native land of Montego Bay, Jamaica. The burial will follow at the Lawrence Family Cemetery in his native land, Montego Bay, Jamaica. Miss Nikeria A. Batten, age 24, and her infant son, Jakari J. Lewis Jr. of Tampa, Florida, died Wednesday, July 2nd at HCA South Florida Tampa Hospital in Tampa, Florida. The funeral service for Miss Nakiria A. Batten, age 24, and her infant son, Jakari J. Lewis Jr., will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Mother Mamie Lee Jackson Ruff, age 97, of 146 Rainbow Terrace, Americus, Georgia, died Thursday, July 3rd at the Phoebe Sumter Medical Center in Americus, Georgia. The funeral service for Mother Mamie Lee Jackson Ruff, age 97, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. Miss Martha Lynn Hopper Huffins, age 72, of 107 South 3rd Street, Cordele, Georgia, died Friday, July 4th at the Chris Regional Hospital in Cordele, Georgia. The funeral service for Miss Martha Lynn Hopper Huffins, age 72, will be announced at a later date, pending the completion of the arrangements. The Jwwilliams funeral directors serving Cordele and Vienna are in charge of each of these arrangements during this week. Our program this morning is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones were laid to rest during the past week. The family of Mr. Thomas Lee Talbert, City Commissioner of the City of Rochelle, the family of Mr. Leonard Ray Jr. of Cordele, Georgia, the family of Miss Shabria T. Collier of McDonald, Georgia, formerly of Cordele, Georgia. This selection is dedicated to the bereaved families whose loved ones will be laid to rest during this week. The family of Miss Pamela Michelle Thomas of Palmetto, Georgia, formerly of Rochelle, Georgia. The family of Miss Shakita Antonia Cannon of Americus, Georgia. The family of Mr. Zachariah Antonia Pullum of Albany, Georgia, and Cordele, Georgia. The family of Mrs. Mary Hazel Sims Wiggins of Cape Coral, Florida, formerly of Smithville, Georgia. The family of retired educator, the Reverend Easton Ray Lawrence of Americus, Georgia. The family of Miss Nakiria A. Batten and her infant son, Jakaria J. Lewis Jr. of Tampa, Florida. The family of Mother Mamie Lee Jackson Ruff of Americus, Georgia. The family of Miss Martha Lynn Hopper Huffins of Cordele, Georgia. Our program this morning is dedicated to all of the sick and shut-in, to all patients in the local and surrounding hospitals, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers, to our beloved ministers and their devoted family members, to all retired educators, to the men and